Okay, here's an issue, not really an issue that we've been having, but it's basically something that would make our lives here a little bit easier, is when you're creating a sales order, if you come over here to the customer module and you look at sales order, uh, we're just going to go ahead and create a new sales order so I can walk you through what we're trying to accomplish here. We'll just pick this customer right here. Okay. We're not really worried about this right now. What we're looking at is trying to add items. Right now we're trying to add items. If you click on this field here to add items, you don't really have a whole lot to choose from. If I was looking for an 8450 pant size, I know that 8450 and 04 means dark navy. You hit enter, and this is the only one that's coming up just because this is part of the UPC code. The actual 8450 04 pants don't come up. We have to have the UPC code to add it. Many times when we're entering orders, we don't have the product right here in front of us. So trying to add, to scan the UPC, so trying to add a number, what we're having to do is come down to the item profile, uh, look at an item itself and copy the barcode and come over here and paste the barcode or whatever, because a lot of times you bring up two screens that wants to shut one down. But it's been real inconvenient because we don't always know what the UPC code is, but we'll know if it's a 845004. And since I use that as an example, I'll bring up inventory and item and find item. It's going to bring up all the items here, and then I have to do a search for 8450. It's taking a while. And now I have to search for 8450-04 and say I'm looking for a 17.5 shirt, say 36. We'll do it 17 by 3637. I've got my item code here. This is the number it's looking for. So what I have to do is open that up and copy it. Come to the sales order and Control V to paste it. I can either do it that way or that's the way it wants it to be done. Or I can come over here and, since I already have the code here that I want, I can say, no, it's not going to allow two of them the same one, but the one below it, 6007 290904445. That's what it likes to do. It likes to find it based on this number over here. Well, we don't always know what this is. All we know it is an 8450 shirt. 04 is the color, and we know all this information over here. We know the part number, but here with the current setup, there's no part numbers in here, and it's real hard for us to, on a lot of POs, we have to go look at, sales orders, it's hard for us to create them because we have to look this stuff up. As a contrast of what we're used to, I'll bring up iCode, and I've already brought up the sales orders. So say I've got a sales order here. Actually, I'll create a new one to make it just like the other one. I want to create a new sales order. And I'm just going to pick this Christine Ferguson. And here, if I want to add an item, I've got two different ways. I can go up here and add the item by clicking select item, which basically goes through and opens up the item profile, which is very good, especially on like large departmental orders, 8450-04. Large departmental orders, it allows me to select by hitting control. I can select individual part numbers, or if I want to create select a range, I can click one and hold down shift and grab a bunch of them. And you can see some here that are discontinued. If I don't want to grab those, I can actually hold down the control button and get those out of there. Then I can say OK. And what it's going to do is all of them that are highlighted is going to bring it into the sales order. And then I can adjust my quantities based on what the department's wanting to order the customer. You can see down here it's adding them all in. And we do this real often on a lot of orders. That way you can grab multiple orders at one time. Or I can double click it, hit this down arrow, and this is what I'm hoping for in IS, is that it has the UPC code, which I really don't know. It has an item description that I can search by, and I can type in whatever I want, and it's going to bring that up if I know the category, the brand, and the model, which is the part number. So if I know the model, and it's 8450-04, you can see it's already starting to find them, and I can just kind of narrow it down. If I want 17, it's finding it here. If I want 0.5 by 36, you can see it's finding it over here. Now you can actually move these fields over so you can see it. And it found the shirt that I'm looking for, and it's UPC. So I can click on it, and it populates it. And that's what we're looking for, is some kind of a search feature with the part number included on the sales order. And so many times when we have enterprise, we have a sales order up, so many times when we're looking at sales orders, it just gives us PC. And even down here, it's great. I love this feature that tells us, you know, how many's in stock, what locations, and all that stuff with the different color codes. But it doesn't actually tell me the part number. And many times when we scan something, it's easier to go in that way because we're scanning the UPC. But if we're actually creating a sales order, and we're fixing to add a call center here in a couple months where they really don't see a whole lot of UPC codes, they're more entering with customers wanting barcodes, and especially a lot of our departments, they have a style and stuff like that. So trying to get the UPC in there is pretty hard. So all we're looking at adding here is basically, we still want the item code so we can compare it and make sure it's right, just like we have in iCode up here. We still got the UPC, but we're looking to have the vendor part number added over here. And normally we have our quantities on the other side over here out of the way. So we have a item code, a vendor part number, or in this case is the item code is the UPC, and a GST part number, actually vendor part number, I'm sorry, because the vendor part number will tell us if it's being discontinued or not. We don't mark those on the GST part number. That way, this is what prints on a PO. So if we create a PO and we accidentally grab this one, we can see real quickly that it's been discontinued. But on the actual label that it prints, it will not print a GST part number. And these are barcode labels that actually go on the garment itself. So what we're looking at doing, recap real quick, is creating a sales order that has the item code, a vendor part number here, which is this column right here, vendor part number, which is a custom field, populated right here, then a description moved over, and then these quantities over on this side over here.